Mastering polite requests and suggestions in English. Hello everyone. Today we'll dive into the fascinating world of polite requests and suggestions. This topic is especially important in conversational English as it helps us express our thoughts and desires in a respectful and considerate way. So, let's get started. When we want something from someone, it's important to ask politely. It makes the other person more likely to help out and leaves a positive impression. Here are some commonly used phrases for making polite requests. Could you please? This phrase is a polite way of asking someone to do something. For example, could you please pass the salt? Would you mind? This phrase is a polite way of asking if someone would be bothered by doing something. For example, would you mind turning down the music? I was wondering if you could. This is a very polite phrase because it sounds as though you're asking for a favor. For example, I was wondering if you could help me with this report. Sometimes, we want to give advice or suggest an idea without sounding pushy or rude. Here are some phrases you can use. Why don't we? This phrase suggests an idea that includes you and the other person. For example, why don't we go to the park this weekend? Have you considered? This is a polite way of offering a suggestion or idea. For example, have you considered talking to your manager about it? Maybe you could. This is a softer way of giving advice or suggesting an idea. For example, maybe you could try a different approach. Now that we've learned these phrases, it's time to practice. Remember, practice is the key to mastering any language. Try using these phrases in your daily conversations and notice how they change the tone of the discussion. Always pay attention to the situation and the person you are talking with to ensure your language is appropriate and respectful. That's all for today's lesson on polite requests and suggestions in English. We hope these phrases will prove useful in your English conversations. Remember, being polite and respectful is always appreciated, regardless of the language you're speaking. Stay tuned for our next lesson, and until then, keep practicing and happy learning.